Konnichiwa. Saya Kudo Maurides from stomachofchaos.com. Tengah cakap mengarut pasal baru lepas balik kerja dan baru makan malam. Tapi tonight I felt like going through what we had seen on Sunday, which was Wonder Festival 2023 summer. It was held at Mako Harimese in Chiba, and basically this is one of the biggest exhibitions of anime or anime related figure announcements from various manufacturers. In fact, if you remember, itu macam about 3 months ago saya ada cover One Hobby 2023 spring, and itu pun I just covered just a few figures from Good Smile Company and a few others. But if you know that I'm an admin for Anime Collectors Malaysia dekat Facebook, a small group of people who are keen to talk about anime figure collecting, and masa tu ingatkan nak bubuh lah gambar-gambar from the exhibition this past Sunday, but it was crazy, gila punya banyak manufacturers. I mean, obviously this is the screen from the WONFES.jp website, and as you can see, basically I mean, sorry, not here. There's the number of exhibitors, which are the actual manufacturers, are legion. Gilanya banyak. There's another website which I will show in a bit, which is this ruru-paris.com, which I used last time for the One Hobby Spring figures, because obviously she has a very complete collection of photographs and information from this exhibition. Pretty much by Sunday evening she said she had to give up because it was too much, and she'll complete it today, and now she has. But anyway, kita start lah first with the Ami Hobby Camp online. So basically, as you can see here, it's a festival event that showcases the charm of figure maker brands from all the world, blah blah blah. Dalam OneFest ni, One Hobby ni, OneFest, keeping them confused. So basically, you've got the Ami section, you've got the other section, and unfortunately, here you go, you'll see what kind of, not what kind, the different manufacturers involved in the Ami camp. Because banyak sangat, I'm going to just look at the ones that I'm more familiar with, and unfortunately, as you can see now, these are makers of adult, not safe for work figures, and nothing will leave that out lah. Albeit, I'll probably show SkyTube selection, because SkyTube is actually part of Alpha Max, and they actually make really good figures. And if you fancy the design, you don't need to take the, you don't need to have it cast off, whatever. So basically, we're just gonna have a quick run through lah, and see what's what. So I'm going to have a look at Alpha Max. So basically, they've only got 2 figures announced, both from Azulane. So as you can see, if you are a fan of the mobile games, not just getting the girls in the gacha, if you are into getting them in PVC form, there you go. But I do not play the games, and so I've kind of resigned to the fact that that I'm collecting anime figures. At the end of the day, sometimes if the design is good and very nice, yeah, go get it. It'll be much nicer that if you know the IP, because I think in the past I've been you try so hard to collect stuff that's related to IP that you know, and then you end up buying figures which aren't really that good, and then you look at figures like this, and for example, Alpha Max was really good. I mean, there's quite a lot of this almost near statue kind of format that these PVC figures are being made, with proper elaborate base and backgrounds as well. I think one of the proponents of this are the Chinese companies like Maisoft, for example. The most famous one would be the Hatsune Miku yang semua orang nak beli lah. Obviously, I'm not a fan of it, but yeah. Another good brand is Amakuni and Ami and Amakuni. So unfortunately, as they say here, it's only viewable at the event, but until we'll go to the website for Ruru Berries, she should have some photographs of the Amakuni figures. Amakuni makes really good ones. The only one I've got is basically one of Asuka from Evangelion, which I still haven't unboxed yet, and that was an Ami / Amakuni punya collab. Right, so let's see what's Ami themselves of late lah. I've seen them releasing figures, and therefore, so as you can see, internet a bit slow today. So you've got Idol Master characters, and again, Azulane, they're everywhere. Another game that's really big apparently at the moment is Blue Archive, and that's pretty much quite popular these days. And this is Amiko-chan, which is one of the mascots for Ami. At the moment, as you can see, the ones that the only Idol Master Cinderella Girls punya character I know is now I'm talking out of my house here. Might be, I think Shibuya Ren was one of them, but that's an old character. In which if you need a figure of her, they'll be available for half the price of what they were they were sold in the beginning. And yeah, so I mean, there's always a balance between having a character that's posing pretty much, not too much in the way of a dynamic pose, because especially if you are like a singer like these girls, they're not going to be doing crazy gymnastic moves as you would say somebody with a sword or weapon. But unfortunately, as you know, sometimes you buy figures that you really like, you like the character, and they just have to sculpt them in a really boring abonder pose. I have to admit, quite a lot of these companies I've never heard of. Over on Sunday, I saw a couple of names that I've never heard of, and so Golden Head Plus is in my opinion, I think it's a new company. I've never seen it before, and I just unfortunately Ami doesn't have the pictures for it, so I think we'll just go to Ruru Berries when we get there and have a look. So any other companies that I'm familiar with. I mean, Orchid Seed made dodgy ones. Rebose is a Chinese company. I first took notice of them with regards to figures from Maydragon, and I thought they made really non-scale figures, but apparently they do make more than just non-scale. Yeah, as you can see, like figures like this, I mean, these are like typically like a cross between, some of those small price gacha figures, and again, as you can see, Arc Knights, Azerlane, they're everywhere. I think they're just everywhere. And I really don't understand how licensing works, because you get certain characters like Nadeshiko Kagamihara from Eurocam here being available for reboost, but let's go to something else that's got pictures. So it's just a bit unfortunate that they don't have any pictures here at all. Square Enix, the figures made by them tend to be obviously related to the games and include the play art series, for example. I think, for example, type number 2 here is one of the figures that we made to death, especially by those third-party resin resin statue makers, and you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I've got her, but I've got her as one of those play art sky figures. So anyway, as you can see here, there's a bunch of not Swift forward figures, but I guess Sky Tube is, as I mentioned before, is part of Alpha Max, and as the one that I saw over on Twitter this weekend, we've only got the unpainted prototypes. So basically, I mean, if you're familiar with, yes, I am over 18, but obviously they're not going to show the ones that I do not think they have the cast off photographs yet. So this is by Tony, a popular artist, well known in the doujin circles, and you would have seen these characters before. This is Ping Yi. That's Ping Yi. The other one is Jin Lian is this one. Yeah. It might be that, oh yes, as you can see from the photographs here, she's pretty much wearing the same costume that she had in her original figure, which is the Cheongsam that has the black and gold flower motif. Only this time she's a bunny, and same goes for Jin Lian here. So anyway, looks like the Ami website is slightly disappointing with regards to, showing what's what. And I think the best thing to do is just go straight up to Ruru Berry's website. Now, you can follow her on Twitter at Ruru_berries, that's BERRYZ. She's really good. She's, with regards to, curating, well, not just curating, I think she pretty much lists down all the figures that there are from the official manufacturer tweets. So as you can see that in WONFES 2023, we've got the One Hobby section. That's pretty much Good Smile Company and Max Factory, Freeing, Fat, Kadokawa, and Wing. And they've got the Tokyo figure booth. I'm familiar with Wings Incorporated and Mimeyoi, Hobby Max as well. If I'm not mistaken, Nintendo makes not safe for work figures. And then we've got the Miwako booth, as you can see here. It's only for above 18. Brands like Lechery and Charm. And this was the Ami Hobby Camp that we went to look at just now. So basically, we've got the other companies that we didn't get to see, like Hamakuni, Golden Head, and then we've got the rest of the Ami Hobby Camp booth with these other makers, which are all not safe for work. And basically, we've got a few others as well. But as you can see, I'm not going to go through all of them because it's going to be gila lah nak buat semua. But the obvious brands like Aniplex, I'm definitely going to have a look. Union Creative, neither here nor there, but they do sometimes make really good figures. Shibuya Scramble, to just have a look because the bloody expensive figures. Furyu, I quite like them. Furyu and FNEX is pretty much the same company. Whenever they make a kimono/yukata figure, they excel at it. And as you well know, that they also make the ones with the actual cloth material for the kimonos, the one that will cost you about a grand, more than $1,000 if you are into that kind of stuff. So I think let's just have a look, see in how this works. So we'll do we'll have a look at Good Smile Company and see what's what. I got a feeling I've seen some of this before. If I feel that we have seen this, we saw this actually in the spring 23 One Hobby. One of the figures that's kind of like being, well, not made to death. I've been seeing quite a few Bochi figures of late. So this is a scale figure of Goto Hitori, and that's the basis Yamadario. This is an example of what I said, that it's very nice that they have it in all this detail, but and as much as you know that this is what Bochi is like, being that shy girl, doesn't do anything, but it's just a bit boring if you want to spend so much money and have a figure to just stand like this. I presume these are meant to be bought together and posed together, having Rio with them, but there you go. So I don't think they've got any plans. I mean, I've got any prototype of the other band members as of yet. So basically, we'll just have a quick scroll, and I'll stop at anything that strikes my fancy. I mean, as you can see, Good Smile companies make really good figures, and in the sense that I wish that, if every figure that I like from a particular IP would have dynamic poses like this, it would be great. Otherwise, they all just stand there looking right bored. I mean, look at this details. I mean, gila lah. This is nuts. And actually, I'm a fan of Macross Frontier, but that was like more than 10 years ago. I can't be bothered to, get Rankali's figure, but that's a very good one of it. So for all your Jujutsu Kaisen fans, yeah, your violin teacher is there. And so Good Smile Racing has a range of figures. Obviously, Gadis Lita, and obviously Hatsune Miku will always get a figure. I'm not too sure of the Hyper Body and Act Mode range. The Modroids are if I'm not mistaken, they are similar to the Gunpla that you do for Gundams. So basically, you put them together. I had bought a Modroid before, but I still haven't put it together, which is the mecha for Darling in the Franxx. The Harmonia Bloom dolls, relatively recent addition by Good Smile. something about the eyes. I think I told a friend of mine I'm not a fan of Hugh Posket as well, because I think the eyes are freaky. Because these ones are not too bad, but I've seen one. Oh, look at that. Anyway, yes, and this is the Good Smile Hello series of figures that basically just do head tilts. This is somewhat similar to what a Funko Pop is, if they have all the eyes are like that. I mean, all the smiles are like that. I mean, I actually did buy 3 figures from Kill la Kill. Yeah, so as you can see, Tokyo Revengers, and the like. So that's the one hobby, guys. So let's have a look at the Nendroids. Now, love them or hate them, I mean, Nendroids are pretty much a fan favorite. I never used to like them when I first started collecting them. When I bought one, unfortunately, I should not tell you how many Nendroids I have at the moment, but they're really good for dioramas. So you think that, why don't you make dioramas out of Figmas? But it's the joints that just do my head in. At least with Nendroids, the joints are not that obvious. You know what I mean? So Anna Yamada, this Nendroid, I'm not too sure. The Danger's in My Heart. She's available for pre-order from today. And yeah, so basically, I think in the One Hobby Spring, they had announced the rest of the Kisoku band for Bochi the Rock. And it's nice to see that Nijika and Ikuyo Nendroids have got the prototypes painted. So we're still waiting for Rio. And of course, this is actually one of my favorite characters, Kikuri. I'm looking forward to see the drunk face plates for her and the various accessories like cans of beer and bottles of sake. So as I said, I'm not going to dwell on every single one. Kason, one of the famous VShoujo VTubers, she was in KL recently. It's really fantastic to see that they've you know, if you get an Android done of yourself, you're it. I can't recall whether I wasn't too sure whether I'm going to buy this either of these Hashiras, because for them I am really collecting the Bandai SH Figure Arts series. And it's just unfortunate that the pose for Moichiro wasn't very good, and I wish I had bought the Kotobukiya one. I think it's the Kotobukiya one. Either that or the Aniplex one. But the problem is the SH Figure Arts is non-scale, probably about 1/9 or 1/10, so it just wouldn't look good. Oshinoko is obviously one of the biggest anime series over the spring season. I still haven't finished watching it, but yeah, there are quite a few good figures on the scale front as well. So, but then again, you know, tempting, but I'm not too sure whether I want them or not. It's just that I'm running out of space at the moment, and I can't bear to sell any of them just to make space. More YouTubers, and yeah, this freaky Doki Doki Literature Club. I wonder each of them have very funky faceplate like that one other girl, which freaked me out. So as you can see, there's so much selection. Choice for Android fan. This guy is available for pre-order today. Bobo is a manga by the mangaka who did to Love Ru, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. I didn't know that they were making this. I knew that they were making one of her for the pop-up print holding the chair. Again, the one with the chair, the pop-up print one, was actually quite nice, considering that pop-up prints tend not to have props with it. And the Nichijou girls, at last. You have the other ones, because I think they just redid the re-release. Actually, not re-release. It was a different version. It was the Keiichi Arawi version. Now, which made me wonder if there had been an original release of these three girls from Nichijou. I can't be bothered to look for the original ones if they do exist, but I might want to get this when it gets ready for pre-order. Selamat pagi. And of course, yes, My Happy Marriage, currently on Netflix. Still haven't watched it yet. And what else have we got? Oh gosh, Endeavor. She looks weird. I wouldn't be in a rush to buy him. And of course, Hatsune Miku. I think she has more than 100 androids made over, and they've got to give an excuse to make another one. I've never seen what a vampire version of her look like. Oh, hello, Lady Nagant. Hey, I might just consider. And I do hope they make a figure of her. Belfine figures of My Hero Academia tend to be very good. That's my go-to manufacturer because of the particular way that they do the poses and the sound effect, having the font saying splash or float or whatever it is. I wonder if Belfine does make one of Lady Naga, it'll be quite interesting to see how they'll do it. I pre-ordered these two from Aniplex, the kimono, not kimono, the cafe waitress version. I've got them both in the normal uniform with guns version. Not too sure how to pronounce this. Nike and Nikki. Girls with weapons are the thing at the moment. And some of the skills for this series look awesome. One of the things that I might consider buying, considering the fact that I quite like skills of original figures which shows a mixture of both modern weaponry as well as traditional Japanese design. I think there's a couple of ones that I've mentioned before in my Instagram, by Wing, for example. And they're doing one of Wiz. There was a scale of Wiz before, and it was horrible. Can't believe the quality of that one. She looked miserable, and even if it was at a discounted price, I still wouldn't probably be buying it. And more Oshinoko, I didn't realize that they haven't made Ai yet, so I'm quite surprised that they're doing her later, because the prototype of her kids are out. And there you go. I've not watched season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I keep mixing her up with Nobara. Obviously, she's not Nobara because she's obviously from the season 2, if I'm not mistaken, a flashback episodes. And as we know, Nandroid have figures from Good Smile Art Shanghai, not necessarily of characters from Chinese IP, but probably just how they've spread out the work, I guess. And interesting maid dragons are being done by them. So we've got Kobayashi finally. Alma. I can't remember whether they've released Toru, and yeah, it's out now. I've got Kana in my room at the moment. They're all still unboxed. Yeah, I will unbox them. Getting ready for the whatchamacallit dioramas that I've set up. Okay, Nandroids by Mac Factory. Yeah, yes, it's a bit of a confusing thing when people say, isn't this part of Good Smart Company? It is, but some of the Nandroids are still being done by, I don't know how it works. For example, Freeing, a few other companies actually do make Nandroid, but obviously under supervision of a good smart company, it needs to follow a certain SOP, I guess, with regards to what it should look like. And there are also other companies like, for example, Orange Rouge, which does the range of male figures. So bunch of VTubers and gacha games. Here you go, Orange Rouge or Orange Rouge, if you want to go all French. So Orange Rouge tends to be male characters from Haikyuu, or this one I've been saying this again and again, and I haven't gotten around to watch this. It's supposed to be quite funny. My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999. Yeah. Mashiru. So, I mean, there you go. And for all you KD Cole fans, I've never gotten into Android roles. I think it's one step forward. Yeah, it feels a bit redundant, but if you're into posing your figures out with clothing that's made of actual fiber, this is for you. So having to rebuy things like figures that you've already have, that makes it difficult. I mean, in my opinion, not difficult, but redundant more than anything else. If I'm not mistaken, the head of the actual Nandroids, you can actually put it on. You can buy an Android doll body, and you can buy the different costume if you wanted to. So whether or not that saves more money, it depends. So for example, like this, you could buy that and put Aaron Yeager in it. So there you go. And yeah, so these are the body types, and obviously this is a kid's kind of proportion as compared to the adult, which still looks a bit chibi and distorted. Nandroid More is pretty much the range of accessories for like faceplates or things like playsets and whatnot. And Bochi. Oh no, this is gonna be fantastic. If you've watched this and you've seen the various faces she makes, I'm looking forward to see how they're gonna do this. It's gonna be a hoot seeing that. So anyway, that was Good Smart Company Nandroids. We'll have a quick look at pop-up rates. Not too bad, but nah. I can't remember which one it was, the Kotobukiyo one or the one that looks exactly like the cover of the manga. That would be the one to get, and obviously they'll have one of the kids, and of course Arima Kana here. Yes. I was to those of you who follow my channel, about just this past weekend I released the 100th video for my YouTube channel, and it was on Evangelion, and I was telling myself, when the hell did she have long hair? Only then I'm like, okay, that's when it was. Because there's another one, I think it's a scale of her holding like a weird looking baby doll. And that's from Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.11 as well. So again, sometimes pop-up parade works. Some people say, is it worth getting? It depends. I mean, they are pretty much along the same range of a slightly more expensive version of what you call it. I can't really talk today. Of price figures, and the thing is with price figures these days, I mean, it's not perfect, but sometimes you do get the poses to look looking better, and considering the fact that they have started to show some improvement with regards to having extra props, for example, like this. Because if you think about it, if you were to buy the original Konosuba pop-up parade, only Mugumin has a hat and a staff, and yet the likes of Aqua does not have that. She did not even have a wand or scepter, whatever it is that she holds, and Darkness doesn't even have a sword to hold on to. But yeah, the detailing looks quite good. And oh yeah, as you well know, the prices for pop-up parade has gone up a bit by about 700 yen. Yes, a sweet-looking girl with an axe. Oh, they're making another one of Kill la Kill with a souvenir jacket. I have the Nandroid for this, so I can't see it. I mean, if you want to ask me, there are other Ryuko Matsui figures which I really want, and they unfortunately made 10 years ago, and they are so difficult to find these days. And sometimes when you look at the photographs, they look really bad as well. So, not too sure whether. Gotha, now I might consider, but yeah, I will buy her. And oh dear, Merlin. So basically, what I have at the moment, I mean, this is one of the anime which I don't know. I think the first couple of seasons was relatively alright. Then it got a bit more rubbish. But I kind of like the characters, and so basically, I've got her as a quarter scale freeing bunny. Obviously, she doesn't look like a bunny, but if you think about it, she's a giant. So I've got that. Oh, they've made her in XL size, so that would make sense. Anyway, so an XL size is the pop-up parade that would be a quarter scale, if I'm not mistaken. People were arguing that if you're making a cheap version of a large scale figure, what kind of thing that they will have to sacrifice? Is it be details, accuracy in colors, or whatever? So anyway, I've got her as a freeing bunny, which is still unlocked. I've got King as in an Android format. I've got Meliodas, Bun, and Elizabeth in pop-up parade format. Now Elizabeth, I do have her as a bunny, but since she's not a giant, she's being displayed somewhere else. So having Gotha and Merlin, and if I'm not mistaken, if they do a Escanor, if they have the L version, not the XL, the one with the smaller head, that will be perfect. All 7 of them. This is an example of boring poses, but because of the fact that this is pop-up parade and a cheaper version, that's fine. But if you ask me, there's a version by Mappa, which is in I think it's almost 30,000 yen, and she pretty much does this. Ridiculous. So yeah, Mashuru and One Punch Man. So these are the Max Factory ones. Oh, another one of the L size. So hopefully, let's see if they do an Escanor one. No, not really. So Orange Rouge will be more male characters. So that's that. Onwards. I'm not going to go to the playbacks are pretty much model kits that you have to assemble with glue and paint. I'm not going to talk about Figmas, but we shall go to freeing. Freeing basically does quarter scale bunnies and much more. So I can't recall whether we've actually had. I don't think we've ever had a Hatsune Miku bunny before. So whether I think that's what the color of the hair is, but in my opinion, it does look a bit dull. Then again, you cannot imagine her wearing any other color for her bunny suit anyway. The hair sculpt looks nice. I just don't like the color. The pose is nice. Just the color. It looks like a dull photograph of a very well-known character. So freeing also does other types of quarter scale figures. So this is Ruby Rose from Ruby. I think I've seen a couple of episodes of the rehash of the anime. It's pretty alright. Yes, let's have a closer look. So here we've got Kana and Lukwa. I don't think I'm picking here, but gosh, she could look so much better than this. I'm sure there were other photographs of her at pretty much close up. I don't know. I really don't know. I had bought Toru. In fact, Ami just emailed me today asking me for my mullah to pay. So, I need to get a Lukwa. So basically, as you well know, if you are collecting figures, thus far, Maid Dragon characters have been all made by the fantastic Beeful company, Forts or Beeful, which are made of fragile material and they get broken really easily. And I think Ami doesn't sell them, but unless they're of the pre-owned version, and even then, it's a big caveat saying we're not paying, we are not responsible for, and if it gets broken when you get them, because they're well known to get broken really easily, regardless of how well you've packed them. So I just wonder if the best way to buy if you really want to get a Beeful figure is to actually go to a shop and buy it yourself and bring it back carefully. But ever since they started making Nendroids of Kana and Toru and obviously the other girls now, I'm waiting for a Lukwa Nendroid. And it's quite disappointing to see that with all these new announcements that we've not even seen a prototype of Lukwa as a what you call it, Nendroid. They could do so much better though. Yeah. Right, Tensaru characters, which I'm not familiar with, though they're getting one. This is a non-bunny quarter scale of a girl frontline. Yeah, girl frontline is another range of girls with machine guns. The best looking ones are the Figma ones, but I don't want to get Figmas. Seriously. So, I don't know. So, if you have a quarter scale version, you need to have the guns as well. So, you really need lots of space if you are getting one of them. So here we go, Azalin. And you go like, no comment. So as you all, for the uninitiated, Azalin characters are all named of the actual battleships from World War II and the like. So this would have been perhaps HMS Manchester, but why the hell that HMS Manchester has become a devil girl wearing a nurse costume, holding a syringe? So I'm not going to judge people's fetishes. So there you go. And this is from Nikki, the game that I was mentioning about. And of course, as a fan of Demon Slayer, this looks quite nice, really. Somehow, something is not right for this one. It feels like the proportion is wrong, because whenever Nezuko transforms into this version, she's supposed to be looking more like a woman as opposed to as a child. So basically having a big head like this, meaning that she would still have childlike proportions. So it just felt wrong. But of course, this is something that I saw on Twitter, and not Twitter from fans of Kill la Kill, but not from I think because I was too late watching. By that time I got too tired to keep on waiting for new announcements. But 8 years ago we've got Riku Matoi, and now we're getting Kiryu Satsuki and Makuma Kanjoku. These are compulsory purchases. But why are they wearing black? It's fine for her, I guess, because Ryuko's wearing kind of a black / dark blue, midnight blue, with a slight sparkle. But Kiryuin should be wearing white, man, not black. I don't know. So there you go. And finally, Orimo's getting a bunny. I don't know. I've got too many Kirino and Kuroneko figures at the moment, so whether or not I should be considering getting a flipping quarter scale figures of this. Yes. To Love Through Darkness characters have already had bunnies before. They're just making an excuse to make more. And in fact, Momo Bella Develop, she's the only one that's left for my Yukata Freeing collection. I have seen a couple recently, but they are very much overpriced. It's funny that the other characters in that range, I think there's about 6 or 7 of them, the others aren't that expensive. So I'm not too sure what it is with Momo that brings the price up. Oh dear, Shaltier and Nabral Gamma, Overlord. I've got Albedo, of course, but yeah, it'll be quite interesting to see what Shaltier looks like. I can't remember which manufacturer it was, but there was an announcement of a Shaltier scale recently. So 2 more characters for Tensura. So there you go. Funnily enough, there's not much in the way of announcement of a non-quarter scale figures from Freeing, but they're well known for their bunnies anyway. Right, Fat Company is good, but they have a problem with oh dear, it's disappeared. Let me just put this back on. Sorry about that. Yes, they have an issue of having delayed releases. So much so that I did buy, when I first started collecting, I bought a Kadao Suyuri from Demon Slayer. It took more than a year to arrive, and when she was released, the figure was nice and all, don't get me wrong, but the price tanked. In fact, just on this topic, the tanking of prices of figures that we've been seeing for the past year, I guess, it's one of those worrying things, depending on which side of the fence you are. If you are into buying your figures to make them as an investment so that you can sell them in the future. Probably now is not the right time to sell them. Although I just wondered if the pre-owned section at Ami for the past 6 months had been great. It's because due to people wanting to, I don't know, it's a post-COVID thing where the finances of collectors have been quite bad. People just want to get rid of their stuff. I mean, coming back to rare grill figures, like when I first collected stuff, things like the Ryuko Mato Ebony was so rare, and now you have it in, you can not easily, but there's one, at least one, in the pre-owned section of Ami. Might cost a bomb, but she's there. So there are you can easily look for grills these days, and then you can't even call them grills anymore, in my opinion, because so easily found. And then with the tanking of prices, a lot of people don't want to pre-order stuff anymore because it's kind of pointless. Because I have seen, a lot of people have seen as well, give it a month or few weeks after something that's being released. You have it in the pre-order section, or even in the shop. They are still selling it, but at a reduced price, and you go like, yeah, I wish I hadn't pre-ordered them, because you have been committed to pay whatever it was that you were being charged for. Yes, Ayakashi Triangle. Apparently, this is an ecchi series and quite popular. Sorry, I've been scrolling this down really quickly, that I didn't have a chance to say anything. I can remember who Clementine is from Overlord. Oh yes, I think I know who she is. Oh my god, is this like the first character? Oh my god, right. Yes, I think I remember her from season 2. Okay, so I didn't get to see where the other Sheltier is from. So yeah, another thing that Fat does are the playsets for Nandroids. So we've got Licorice Recoil. I guess in Mufti. Anyway, so yeah, it's quite interesting. For example, like if it wasn't for the fact that the issues with potential delays with stuff made by Fat, I mean, they actually had apologized and actually issued statements saying due to problems at the factories and staffing issues from COVID. And this is not a new thing for as well, and it's also maybe affecting other makers, because one issue is other than the one that I've been mentioning about whatchamacallit, what was I going to say? About tanking of prices. Another issue is this delay thing. So if not just a delay, if there's a problem with staff at factories, you'll be worried that that if they can't meet the demand of figures, they will not be able to make as many, because you will find that when you pre-order stuff at Ami, it will say, depending on the manufacturer, it will say that due to the possibility of stuff not being made enough, it'll be on a first come first serve basis. So with that argument, then you could go like, dang, so I still have to pre-order stuff there. But it depends on the makers though. So yeah, the Kadokawa collection is quite nice. For example, the ones I've got so far would be like variations of designs on a well-known character. For example, like the swimsuit beachwear range for the likes of Konosuba, for example. Yes, I think Kadokawa is, and especially when a lot of famous IP, anime IP / manga IP, Kadokawa being one of the biggest publishing companies out there, they would have, I guess, first dibs in having characters design. See, characters with weapons, at the very least, poses like this would be just nice enough. So that's what I was lamenting about when I had seen figures of Sagiri from Hell's Paradise. Right, boring. But hopefully we'll get to see the one that I saw that looks a bit better, and even then you'd wish that it'll be better than whatever it was. Right, so we've got a few guys here. I can't believe they're gonna do this. Yeah, cashing in on every single bit. Oh yes, there's going to be, yes, you can see the 10th anniversary dress version of, and interesting and nice to see finally when they do this design, they're going to hopefully do this all together at the same time. Because when they did the so-called, they didn't even call it a kimono, they've called it an oiran version. And the only oiran was actually darkness, and everybody else was just wearing a box standard kimono or kimono-inspired skimpy costume. But yeah. But I don't know. Space. I can't believe the issue of space is limiting my, because I feel like, I would definitely get them in a heartbeat. So I better get my act together, and perhaps, I've been saying this for months, sell your figures. But doubled with the fact that with what it is like currently with regard to resale prices, it's gonna be a bit unfortunate if I have everything that I sell will be cheaper than what I've paid for, or cheaper than what people used to pay. Wow, 2 Riases. 15th anniversary version goes to show how long they've been around for. I'm not too sure whether Kadokawa does kind of figures. So I don't think you'll be getting her kid off. Ara Himejima Kino, the original Ara. I think I shall not put the pointer where things are, but that post is enough to send people to the hospital. Anyway, that's very nice. Yes, they've done it before. Katie Cole has done kimonos before, so I'm not surprised. So it'd be nice if they had one of Takina as well. Why people, why? Kurumi. Little trivia, Kurumi means walnut. Yes, I still haven't watched this yet. I will. 10th anniversary of what? How many albedos are we gonna get? Oh, the one that I have, I think that was a Kotobuki one. It was a very nice. It is a very nice one. I still haven't. I've got a bunch of albedos that I need to sort out. And this is another one, ubiquitous girl from anime, Sakurajima Mai, and this, it's not bad. At least something different. But I have her bunny suit version by Kadokawa and not by 1/7 scale not the freeing one, because the freeing one doesn't look like her. I mean, it's not sour grapes just because I don't own her, but own that figure. But nah, the 1/7 scale is way better. I've got one Asuna, and that's enough. I know, actually I have two. Yes, I've got two. And Super Sonico doing, I can't remember. There was another. I'm sure she did another crossover cosplay as well. I'll need to find out which one. Yes, this is an example of what I meant of a mixture of kind of like modern like armor or weaponry imbued with Japanese sensibilities, but this one's purely Japanese again because it's got just swords and but the armor still looks relatively modern despite being inspired by samurai. The Force Lander series thus far, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen it in Figma format, but this would go nicely with the wing character I have, and another one that's going to come my way this month, which yeah. So yeah, KD Kadokawa collection, excellent. Right. Okay, let's have a quick look at Wing. I have a couple of figures by Wing, and Pony Canyon. Oh, I think it's because they're all put together. Oh, wait a sec, I've got the wrong section. I want to go for Wing. Yes. Oh, I keep getting the. Is it? Ah, right. It's got the same URL. Okay, we'll have a quick look then, perhaps. I wonder if you can change the faceplate on this one. Ah, yes, Wing. Oh, not very interesting this month for this WONFES. Right, okay. Onwards quickly. No, sorry, that was Wing. This is Wings. And Hobbymax does the Radio Eva figure, so it looks like they're going to make another one, part 3. I've got part 1 and part 2. I'm happy to not buy anymore. Azulane again, battleships added with each other. And of course, Stronger is really a good brand. I have a Hatsune Miku figure of Stronger, and they don't make that many figures, but they're really good. Really good sculpt, really good character poses. This looks really nice. Interesting to see that you get the ships that's like probably from France, and she's the one doing. With all this backdrop, the swords, and that's a kimono being pulled down. I do wish if they do all of this. I can't wait to see what the patterns look like. This may well be something to consider, and you probably need space for this. Oh God. Oh, garage kit. So basically, you need to put them together and paint them yourself. But yeah, if you know, I don't have the skill to really do those. Anyway, so I'm not gonna look at not safe for work stuff, or let's go straight to Amakuni, since we didn't get to see it on the Ami page, and we saw that just now. And more Azulin characters, and One Punch Man, Tatsumaki and Fubuki. This is the thing. Sometimes Amakuni makes really, really risky figures like this. Like, I'm not too sure where they're coming from. Yeah, there they are again. Because the other Amakuni characters were fine. The one that I have, that is. But yeah, this one looks like, yes, it is by Kombo Wakame. No wonder it looks familiar. This is the mangaka that did Jahi. All right, Amakuni. Not too bad. You see, it's things like this. This is what I mean. The sculpt, the hair, the Ojo-sama pose. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Need to buy more of this kind of figures as opposed to the boring. I'm not too sure if this is the same artist or not, but this is one of those cliched, how dare you looking at me kind of characters. The one that's why SkyTube is an example. I have nothing against lolly figures. If they're done something like this, that's fine. But if they are made to look like this, that's where I draw the line, I guess. I've seen this. Oh yes, I did see this. This was some of the photographs I actually got for the website, for the Facebook page, and I got tired because there were too many of it. What's this by? Sorry, Annie Game. I've never heard of this company before. So yes, I wanted to show you guys the, if I'm not mistaken, the golden hit figures weren't too bad. If I remember correctly, you know, things like this, quite well done. I'm sure this is out already. I might be wrong. Broccoli, I can't remember if Broccoli makes NSFW figures. Probably not. I've got a couple, well, not a couple, I've got one Plum figure, which is a miniature figure of the characters from, what you call it, Eurocam. Right, so it looks like we didn't have much to show with regards to the golden head. I think we've done SkyTube, although not trying to be cheeky here. So we saw this Alpha Max figure just now, and the SkyTube figures as well. All right, so it's nothing new then. Okay, that's fine. I just don't want to get my channel to trouble. This is by Yomu, the the artist for Gamari Doki-chan. The Heso bunny or Heso version. Heso means navel. So if I'm not mistaken, I think they did another series of not another series, they did another character from Yomo as well, and she wore a full suit, but because the navel was somewhat visible, it counts. Right, Pink Charms, not safe for work. Let's go to Aniplex. This is gonna be worth a look. Yes, Bochi the Rock. So looks like Goto Hitori is gonna have a few more figures. This one's a scale, but this one isn't. I'm not too sure why that is. I mean, I don't know. As much as this is interesting, but I do hope it looks better when it's painted. Not too sure what they'll have on the base because it looks pretty awkward to me. The post. And obviously, if you look at Aniplex Plus, the online shops, I mean, they are selling a few other variants of Goto Hitori. Like there's one clump of pink goo, which is which is representing her in a depressed state, and another Marin Kitagawa. I can't remember whether there was a night pool version of her, and this is so cute and this looks so good. So this would make do if I can't find any of the old Ryuko Mato figures. So this and the Kiryuin and Makubanis, I'm gonna die. So this is the Tokito version, Aniplex version. As you can see, it looks really good. Perhaps we'll get to see one of the we'll get to see the Bandai version later on. So again, Aniplex is a distributor of a lot of the animes, regardless of which studio you're from, and they sometimes have first dibs as well on characters for release. Saito Hajime. And yes, there you go. It's not shipping anymore. I mean, it's pretty obvious if you've watched this. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen in the second season though. And remember when I was talking about the poses for Karunoji Mitsuri? There's quite a few poses of her because I can't remember which one it was. I don't think it's the Aniplex one, or perhaps it is, but this is from the cover of the manga. There's one of her doing her fifth form of her breathing technique. I really cannot remember whether that's due to be out sometime or whether I have pre-ordered it. I better check my MFC website. So yeah, Buzzmod's the Aniplex version of Figma, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, take my money. And this is Chisato in a Hawaiian getup from the ending of the final episode. Not too sure whether there'll be one of Takina or not, but there you go. And hello, Albedo. Again. Depending on what it looks like on I got a bad feeling it's not going to be very good, but let's reserve judgment until we see the actual painted prototype. I remember when I want to watch this anime. I think it's out now. I've not played the game. I'm aware of the Rosalind Stark character, and how shall I put it? There was I remember the time when I thought quite a few figures looked really good, and then when I suddenly had an interest in her, I started looking at the pre-owned selection or even a list of what figures that they've made. I wasn't really that impressed. So whether it was my imagination or I need to find out. So right now, Union Creative is a bit hit and miss. And unfortunately, quite a lot of them are non-skill. But and kind of, if I'm not mistaken, they actually venture both sides. So on one hand, you get characters like this, like what the hell, and yet on the other, they'll have just a box standard what you call it. Why does it feel like I'm looking at the SkyTube list? They do have actually characters from anime and all that. So suddenly, yes, like this, and Mob Psycho as well. But yeah, a lot of it is non-skill, so makes it, I don't know. So collecting it would mean you'll get a mismatch of body sizes if you were to put them together. Right, this was in my opinion a disappointing anime spy room. So this is when I don't quite understand with Union Creative. It's like sometimes yeah, sometimes no. Okay, we've got not much left now, so let's quickly have a look at Furyu and F next. Not sure who she is, but the way that they've posed her, I don't really care. This looks quite nice, although I do not know who she is. Yes, this is from Railgun, and this is actual cloth, but she looks a bit jank. And this is Entoma from Overlord. Oh, interesting. I can't see any description. Probably this is not this bit of the website is not ready yet. Oh yeah, and this is from that Ecchi series going to be out in the winter 2024. It's all right. We'll have to wait for other figures of her. Then nearer we get to the time when the anime gets shown. Right. Is this quintessential Kotobu no Hanayume quintessential quintuplets? I just wondered. Oh, it's not too much then. It's not. So Quest Q is NSFW. Now S-Fire makes really complex figures. S-Fire is by Sega, so you think Sega will only make prize figures? They make other stuff as well. So if you can imagine, like say a design like this would mean the figure would have all these things. As you can see, I've seen more complex S-Fire characters, like the one where Deku fights Stain, for example. They look just as complex as a third-party resin figure would look like. Oh, that looks interesting. That's Denji versus Katana Man. That looks quite good actually. All right, Sega prize coming soon. Okay, we're almost there. Spirit Tail. Now, Spirit Tail has quite. I've never bought anything from them yet, but hello, this is Marin Kitagawa from that famous Love Hotel episode. But the famous one of the one IP that they actually do is My Hero Academia, and there's one of Toga, which is really really nice. But unfortunately, she sits on a throne made of the half tattered soft toys, which I feel sorry for. Having to see a teddy bear with a knife stuck on its belly that makes you go a bit, no, why did you do that? But there you go. Hatsune Miku again. That's a complex figure of Black Rock Shooter. Unfortunately, one of those IPs in which I don't really get what it's all about, actually. Another one of Sakuragi Mamai, sitting on the moon. Not too impressed. Yes, this is the one I was talking about. Now, this is the sepia version. It's available for pre-order at the moment. So if you were to go to AmiAmi, there'll be like 4 or 5 pictures of depending where you live on the planet. You need to choose the correct one, because there'll be one for Europe, there'll be one for Asia, outside Japan, and blah blah blah. If you ask me, I prefer the normal color one as opposed to this sepia one. I think it's out in January 2024. So, Arima-chan, a couple of Nikis. As you can see, I've got my Belfine version of Adele. Not too keen on that pose, if that is the pose that Spirit Tales decided to do of her. Now, yes, Wave and Belfine. I told you there's going to be a few characters. Oh, and Medicos as well. The company that makes JoJo figures. I'm not too sure who these girls are. I know this girl. Uzaki-chan's sister, if I'm not mistaken. But it's really, really unfortunate that they have to give them this cow bikini. No comment. Something from Oshimai. I mean, Oni-chan or Oshimai. And that's Mihari's best friend from school. And oh yes, Kikuri. Yes, Kikuri. I'm looking forward to see what kind of figure they will make of her. So it's either this one, or I'll probably go for the Nendoroid, provided that, the one, I think they did show it, that they're making one of her. I do hope the faceplate's gonna be nuts. Iruru. I saw a couple of figures of her, I think, either from a previous One Hobby or WONFES. One of her holding a teddy bear. I can't remember whether that was already out for pre-order yet or not. Belfine. Let's see if you've got any My Hero Academia figures. Not really. This Dropkick cartoon looks her Nandroid version looks funny actually, and looks adorable. Asuka from Evangelion. Rin from Eurocamp. I wonder if these are garage kits. It does look like they suspiciously look like garage kit. But then why would they have unpainted prototypes? I might be wrong. Albedo, Raftalia, that looks like that Ruka from Rent a Girlfriend. And I think that's it. So, I mean, a big thanks to ruruberries.com website for having all those photographs well stacked for us to check out, as opposed to, you know, being randomly shunted from one site to another. So that was in a nutshell what the WONFES 2023 summer looked like. I don't know, if you were to ask me, a bit ambivalent whether or not it's due to fact that it's collectors burnout, or just a just a sense of I don't have any space. Because that's a thought that did come to me, in which I felt like just because my figures are dated, for example, by now some of my figures are 3 years old. What will they be like in the next 5? Are they like not worthy of collecting, or are they gonna be inferior to the ones that's gonna be released in the future? I do not know, especially when companies are like rehashing, not rehashing the design, but rehashing the characters. For example, like, as you can see, they're making the Upteens Albedo or the Upteens Kirino from Oremo. So I don't know. I really do not know. You know, and what happens to, you know, my interest in anime is still ongoing. So what happens to the future when, oh yeah, I need to get that one because I quite like that series. So I wonder how, if you've got any ideas, if you've got ways to deal with your collection, drop your points in the comments below, I guess. So, gosh, I've been at it for an hour and a half now. I'm feeling knackered. I guess you can see from my voice. Kepada anda yang mengikuti kolaborasi Summer Chaos with Buzzpop TV, please don't forget that this Sunday at 9 p.m. Malaysian time or 1 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. UK time, kami akan membuat sesi bedah untuk Bleach 1000 Year Blood War Core 2, or the Separation as they've called it. I'll be with my co-panelists Shaz, American, Andre Alwi, and Jamal Raslan. So jangan lupa to watch this space if you are a fan of Bleach. If you like if you like to see more content with regard to figures, give me a shout if you have any ideas what I should be talking about. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but there's so many figures that I do have. I might do a few videos on them based on themes. For example, like my first figure video was on Bleach. So it was like a compilation of talking about Bleach in general and then the figures as well. So saya nak buat macam tu lah, something like that. Other than that, yeah, please do support the channel. It's in its early days. I've only got 100 videos. The fact that I've gone that far probably meant that I have some energy. I do have energy to make more stuff, and I guess I need to sit down and have a reflection to see what I should do to make my channel and content better. So if you have any suggestions, sekali lagi drop your comments down below. So yeah, thanks for listening to my drivel, and hope to see you soon. Mata tode minasan. Bye.